Mr. Svante Henryson, from your first musical experiences through so many rock, jazz and classical music partnerships with various artists, how would you define now, in 2017, your evolution as a cellist, bassist, but also as a composer?
I would say I'm getting more and more to my roots musically. I would say I started playing jazz and rock when I was starting out, so I'm going more and more into that, I feel.
What was the essence of your associations with Yngwie Malmsteen for his Eclipse and Fire and Ice albums?
Well, the essence, it's a hard question. I felt that we had a lot in common. We had sort of similar musical backgrounds in a way, because we're the same age and we listened to the same kind of music when we were kids. So we could really easily find, we had this common ground to stand on. So also he was very interested in classical music.
I know. Baroque music especially, yes.
Yes, and I played a lot of classical music and Baroque music professionally before I started playing with Yngwie. In the same way, I was very interested in hard rock,
yes,
but I previously hadn't played it professionally. So we kind of met in that we had a speciality that we really knew a lot about, and we could teach the other person.
Yes.
He could teach me, I could teach him.
How would you describe your partnership with the great Swedish mezzo-soprano Anne-Sophie von Otter?
That was a lot. I was working as an arranger a lot with her, and also as
For Home for Christmas.
Home for Christmas,
yes.
and
with For the Stars.
For the Stars.
Costello, so,
yes, and we several tours around the world, and a lot of different styles she tried out, and in some parts she was very, very well she knew the styles very, very well. In other styles she was more of a kind of finding her voice in it, or experimenting with her, how to find her voice in that, and I could kind of guide her in some of those, like the jazz style and pop music, and so it was kind of I mean, again, we helped each other, and we could teach each other stuff.
What is the seed of a composition for Svante Henryson? How do you elaborate your own music?
The seed would be, the seed or the basic idea of a composition comes. It can come anytime, in any situation. You just have to be there when it comes along. When you have the seed, then you have to start working. Then it is just a matter of using your previous experience and knowledge and education, and also just patience, and you will develop a seed into a composition.
What are the biggest challenges when you compose different pieces in different genres?
I really don't think about genres when I compose. Usually I think of the situation where it's going to be performed. It sort of gives me inspiration to visualize the place, like a concert stage or a jazz club or a recording studio or whatever. And I really don't think about genres, but I think about the setting around it more. Yeah.
What is the essence of Henryson Algotsson duo?
The essence is that we both like to swing, and we like the interplay, the creative, like the giving and taking of ideas, and also actually the sound of the instrument acoustically. We played acoustically now for many concerts in a row, and we find that maybe this is the way we should work, acoustically, yeah, not electronic. Some of you might wonder, what am I playing on? What is this? You think, it's a new cello, and it's probably custom made for him, and it's extra small, but you know, it's neither modern nor small. I'm actually very tall, so the cello looks small. And it's actually not modern, it's 200 years old. It's not a viola da gamba. It's made in France after the French Revolution. In 1818 this is made, and it's made by one of Napoleon's engineers from his army. I'm not kidding. He was badly injured in one of the wars with Napoleon, under Napoleon, and he had to go back to his hometown, Paris. And there his father had a violin shop, or violin workshop, where he built cellos and violins. And he told his son, "Oh well, you are not trained as a violin maker, but you are an engineer. So maybe you can design a new cello for the people of France, which have now, made the revolution. They need a new design for the people." So he designed this very, very modern design, which was very simple. As you can see, he simply took away all the old extra ornaments that just took a lot of time to build and has no real impact on the sound. So it took much less time to build one of these than a normal cello, so therefore he could sell them cheaper. And the people of France, the Republic, could buy them. But people are very conservative. No one bought his cellos. So he stopped making them after a few years, but I'm proud owner of one of these. There are a few one of these. So, Chanot, 200 years old. And maybe you also wonder why I'm not using the pin, the end pin, that is from the cello in the floor, you know. You see, when this was built, nobody used end pins, except for these, maybe the, amateur cello players. Because the amateur cellists in those days, they usually standing. They played cello standing up. And they could only play in the first position very simple things. And they don't need to move their hands so much, so they could stand up and play and use the end pin. But in, I guess, 1870s or 1880s, around there, someone realized that maybe it's nice to have an end pin even if you're sitting down, because you don't have to hold it. He was lazy. And now, these days, everybody is lazy. Almost 100% of cello players use end pin now, but I prefer not to, because this is old cellos, it should be played in this way.
Which are the next steps for Svante Henryson?
Well, I'm just continuing to develop cello as a jazz instrument. That's the long plan. But next steps are more concerts with Mathias Algotsson and more compositions, working with the other projects that I'm in. I have a couple of, I have a quartet and I work in duo with my wife, singer, and I have other duos and trios as well. So.
My final question is, have you got a philosophy for life?
Yeah, I have actually. This is in one sentence. There's more to everything than you think.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank